Yo, what's going on, dudes? Now look, before I even begin this video, I just want to say that I got this jacket at TJ Maxx for 12 bucks. 12 bucks I got this for. Anyway, so dudes, what's up? Okay, so we got that new event quest that dropped today, right? Yeah, it's some pretty cool new champs to fight, man. We had Longshot and we had Mojo, and now both of these guys are pretty ridiculous defenders if you don't fight them properly. We're going to go through all 6 bosses, alright? So don't worry about that. Alright, so first off, we have this Colossus. Now this Colossus is really not too bad at all, but he does have Aspect of War, and if you don't know how to deal with Aspect of War, it can be kind of annoying. So when he tosses his special attack, he's going to get this passive Unstoppable. Now that really sucks if you don't know how to deal with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to let him hit into your block until he tosses his heavy attack. And as you'll see here, he throws the first part of the heavy, and then we interrupt it. Now that's going to get rid of the Unstoppable altogether. Now you can also get rid of it by doing a normal intercept, but this is much easier, okay? Now, when this little icon pops up right here, that means that for the rest of the fight, he's going to be completely unblockable. But as you can see, I'm using a rank 4 4-star Thanos here, and he's already down to 33% before you even have to deal with that. So if you bring a proper champion into this, you won't have to worry about that unblockable at all. Now a really easy way to deal with this fight is to just use Stealth Spidey, Spider-Gwen, or She-Hulk, get the slow debuff on him, and he won't get unstoppable at all. Now up next we have the Sentinel, and the main nodes to look out for are the Hurt Locker and Special Delivery nodes. That's what happens when you don't look out for them. So my suggestion is to bring in a Medusa. Now this could be a 2-star Medusa for all I care, and it'll work the exact same way. So what you want to do is you want to build up to 1 bar of power, okay? And then, when you get your opening, you want to do a medium, light, medium combo right into special 1, and that's going to shatter his armor. Now what that's going to do is it's going to prevent him from gaining any power throughout the fight, and it'll also let you bypass all those annoying nodes like Hurt Locker, Special Delivery. It might also bypass Bubble Shield, but I did not test that. So you want to build up to a special 3 and then refresh that armor shatter, and then you're just cheesing the rest of the fight. So up next we have this Carnage. So all you want to do for this Carnage is bring in a double immune champ, okay? So it's biohazard, so you don't want to be bleeding or poisoning yourself unless you're using somebody like Ghost or Omega Red. But here I'm showing you a fight with a rank 4 4-star Sentinel to show you can pretty much do it with any robot. Now keep in mind, because of Carnage's abilities, since Sentinel is bleed immune, he's going to be getting that armor break. Now that actually kind of helps you, because when you're near Carnage, he's going to be gaining power very, very slowly. And we just want to keep baiting that special 1. And as you can see, this fight is very, very, very standard. You could do it with any robot. You could do it with any bleed immune champion, pretty much. Obviously, you're going to have a much better time if you bring in your rank 5 Corvus or Ghost or Omega Red. But for people who aren't there yet, you could do it with anybody. Alright, up next we have one of the 2 really awesome new Mystic champs for this month in Marvel Contest of Champions. We have Longshot. Now I'm only going to tell you the things that you have to know for this month in Uncollected fighting him, because normally when you fight him, you want to do it a little differently, okay? So, he has Limber, and he's essentially bleed immune, okay? If you throw a bleed on him, he's going to send it right back to you, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right here. So, yeah, you don't want to use a bleeder, okay? And you also really don't want to push him to special 2 if you aren't Incinerate immune. Let's take another look at that. So, yeah, that special 2 is kind of crazy, man. So, the way that you want to deal with that normally is that you want to stun him, and then you want to hit him while he's stunned, okay? Because that's going to get rid of his good karma, it's going to get rid of your bad karma. And then that special 2 is not going to do as much damage. But he has Limber. So let's talk about this guy's special 1, okay? So his special 1 pretty much consists of 2 knives, alright? I'll play it again for you so you can see this. So he jumps back, and he tosses the knife in the air, just decks out of that, and then he throws one from across the screen, decks out of that. Simple enough, right? So to deal with this guy this month, we just kind of want to power control him. We want to keep him even under 1 bar of power, all right? So I personally went with Dr. Doom because you guys know I love me some Doom, and I just kept him in the corner. I just kept him under 1 bar of power with the aura, and it wasn't hard at all. Now, if you don't have a really good power control champion ranked up, bring in an Incinerate immune champion, okay? Like Human Torch, Sunspot, Havoc, Void, okay? Colossus. Those are all really good options for this guy because when he tosses his special 2, it won't hurt you at all, and that's where most of his damage is going to be coming from as a defender. As you can see here, Torch is pretty much just wrecking this guy. This is a 3-star Torch against a maxed out 4-star, and the fight is pretty much over. Now let's talk about that special 2. So he's going to toss a knife at you, you're going to dex back, he's going to throw it in the air, and then it's going to drop something that you're going to dex out of the way of. I'll play it again so you can see the timing. There is a bit of a delay before that drop. So as you can see here, in the future when we fight Longshot, we want to get him stunned and attack him to get rid of his good karma and get rid of our bad karma. But that's not really an option here. So up next we have Omega Red. Okay, now this Omega Red is not too bad at all, but if you don't have a proper counter, it could be kind of annoying. Now it has Kinetic Transference, Oscillate, and Aspect of Evolution. Now those 3 nodes honestly aren't too bad, but right here, the Kinetic Transference could be pretty potent if you take too many blocked hits. So ideally you just want to bring in a decently ranked up robot. My robot of choice is Warlock, and then just kind of play like normal, okay? Because you don't have to worry about his death field. All you have to worry about is him getting you in the corner and clipping you with the special 1. Now, I personally try to keep him under 2 bars of power the entire time and just constantly evade that special 1. Now, when he's in his defensive mode and he has you in the corner and he's not letting up, it's totally okay to hit into his block a bunch and push him back onto his side of the screen. Now, you're not going to be feeding him too much power when you hit his block. It's only when he hits your block. Yeah, so as you can see, just take this fight slow. I personally like to keep a special 3 in the bank when using Warlock in case he does clip me. I can fire it off and drain his power. But if you use special 2s, it'll put some armor breaks on him. It'll make the fight go a lot faster. But like I said, it's not a hard fight. It's just a kind of annoying long fight. Alright, up next we have Mojo, which is the 2nd champ of this month. And oh my god, this guy is really troublesome if you don't know how to fight him. But lucky for you, I'm going to teach you how to fight him right now. Now, this node right here, Rising Sun, that one is a killer if you don't know how to get around it. So essentially it's going to be putting these Furies on you, kind of like, what's that node? Icarus. So it's going to be putting Furies on you. And in theory it sounds great, but actually it's not. So we'll talk about that later, but Mojo's going to get these prompts, right? And it could be like, do an attack, block an attack, throw a heavy attack, throw a special attack, etc., 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 right? And every time he completes one of these prompts, or you complete one of those prompts, he's going to activate his anti-life field. Now, any buff triggered on the opponent has 90% reduced duration when this field is active. So all of those Furies, 90% shorter. Now, when those Furies expire, you're going to be taking massive degen damage. By the way, if you dex an attack and your dexterity expires, massive degen damage. And by the way, he's going to regenerate a little bit of health if one of your buffs expire or is nullified. It's not that big of a deal, don't even worry about it. Now, there are some great counters to this fight. You know, obviously Domino with her full trinity is always a standout. You just parry, have your life away, you don't get any buffs. Quake is also a favorite, but the issue I have with Quake is that you're just doing your Quake thing in the corner and he's completing prompts. And then eventually you get this hater buff on you, and when that hater buff expires, you're going to be taking massive degen damage. But as you can see, you know, Quake did a decent amount of damage even as a 4-star. If you have a max 5-star, she can totally get it done. So, this is how we don't want to fight him, okay? We don't want to hit into him a bunch of times and let those Furies rack up. Because as you can see here, oof, they go away mighty fast, and that degen damage is pretty potent. Alright, so how we want to fight him is we want to do a parry, medium, heavy attack. So what that's going to do is we're going to get our medium attack in, and that heavy is going to get rid of those Furies, okay? So there's no problem there at all. Let's talk about his special attacks. So his special 2 is really cool. It consists of 4 beams. He tosses 3 from his hands and 1 from his tail. So there's 1 beam, a bit of a pause, 2 quick beams, and then a tail beam. All right, I'm going to play that one more time for you guys here. So hand beam, slight pause, hand, tail. Okay, now his special 1. So his special 1, the timing here is kind of like Korg's, I found, all right? It's like those 4 dashes back. So this would be like Korg's foot, the first beam, the second beam, and then that third beam. All right, I'm gonna play that one more time. So he jumps at you, and then he hits you with his little tentacle thingies, and then he jumps at you. But when you're fighting him, you kind of don't want to dex that last bit, and I'll show you why in this fight now with the MVP of this fight, in my opinion, Human Torch. So, we're just going to go in, medium, heavy attack. I activated the pre-fight, but you don't have to, but you really should. And now here you'll see the prompt came up, use a special attack, all right? So he used a special attack, and that activated the field, and then I Dex back. So the life field is active, and then I hit him, and that got rid of Dex, and I degen about half of my health away. So I said, all right, I'm not gonna do that this time. I just took it on the chin, and now another prompt came up, charge a heavy attack. And I said, all right, I don't want that field active, so I'm gonna let that go away. I wanna let his followers go down. So now dodge a hit. All right, I'm not gonna dodge a hit. He's not gonna dodge a hit. All right, so I got him with the special 2, hit into him here. He's gonna toss off another special 1. I'm just gonna take it on the chin again, go right back into him, right? Get some power stings on him, get some Nova Flames on him, and then he's gonna kill himself right here, and that's gonna be all there is to it. So basically, you can kind of do this fight with anybody who doesn't get any buffs. You just wanna parry heavy, kind of like you're doing Variant 2 with the champion who isn't extra large. So, if you don't know how to fight this guy, it could be a problem. But if you do know how to fight this guy, not too big of a deal. Obviously, you can look out for those prompts and fight him, you know, kind of mathematically, but you just kind of go into it and avoid getting buffs and just fight him just like normal, all right? So guys, that's going to be it for this month for the Uncollected bosses. I hope that helped you a bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer them. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you around.